Hello again, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Good or Trash. Tonight's target is Emily. Is she good or is she trash? But today we are here to talk about Emily, the light cannon girl, because she is the February 2023 Light Hall of Heroes, and I think she is very much worth getting and building. She does have some limited uses, but the team I have her on for Guild Siege offense, it's probably my most consistent winning team. When I accidentally take it into something I probably shouldn't have, I still usually manage to win. It's pretty rare that I lose. Now you have to know what teams to take it into, and we'll talk about that. But here she is, the way I have her currently ruined, which I actually don't like. So in a minute, we're actually going to try to change her up a bit. But she's 200 speed, which is a little low for what I want to use her for. She's on speed, crit damage, attack. I looked at her runes last night, and then I went through and changed some things. She's still not where I want her to be, but she's at 75% crit rate, 156% crit damage on Despair, Will. The Will runes are important just in case she gets cut, and I'll show you the team here in a minute. And because of her speed, there's still some possibility that she's going to get cut. And then I just really like her on Despair, because then all three of her skills provide opportunity to stun. Her skill 3 does have a 40% chance once fully skilled up to stun, which really isn't that high. She misses the stuns quite a bit, which is why I put her on Despair, to give her an extra chance to stun with skill 3, and then she does 8 shots, up to 8 shots with her skill 2, and then 3 shots with skill 1. And so having her on Despair allow all those skills to hopefully stun somebody, which can be very helpful since I have her in a control team. She is built as crit damage, but she doesn't have a ton of attack, and her crit rate needs to be higher, her crit damage needs to be higher. But she is a control unit as well as a damage dealer, so she kind of has a mixed build, but it's pretty effective once you see it happen. She's useful in RTA, but she's not meta. I use her in RTA every once in a while, but she's not in my current comp that I'm using. Where I use her the most, I'll occasionally use her in just regular arena when I find a defense where her skill set would be very useful. So I do use her occasionally in arena, but every single guild siege that we have, her team is typically, I'll look over the battlefield, see what the enemy defenses are like, and I already know some of the defenses where my team is almost guaranteed to win, unless they resist her skill 3. Then we have issues. Just like anything else in Summoner's War, if that resistance check happens and you don't get to do your stuff, your team can be in trouble. I tried filming last night during actual live siege, but I had some internet connection issues, and it just didn't work out. So we're going to do this while we're in the middle of registration. Fly is our guild leader. He's an awesome guy, extremely helpful. Shout out to the Ippo Guild members. We have some really good dedicated people for Siege and other guild content. We are still recruiting. Like some of the other guilds on Japan server, we've seen a little bit of drop off in activity, and we would like to have a few more active people in the guild. We love Siege, and Fly is kind of a low-key leader that appreciates when people need to take a break from the game, and I've done that myself. But when we're back, he's always there to help. He's given me a lot of advice. So here are his teams. And actually, this is one of the teams that I bring my team into with Emily. It's usually pretty effective. I'm just waiting to actually do this test because as soon as I say that, this team's going to destroy me, and I'll go, well, that doesn't normally happen. But this is a team I usually don't have a problem with. In fact, the teams that, so this is my team. Hyanes for the speed lead, and she also does a strip. And then Vareesa, she's the primary strip. I have her, so the speed tuning of this team is Vareesa moves first. She's 246 speed without the speed lead and without the speed tower. And then Hyanes is next at 219. And then Emily's at 200. And so there is a risk of her getting cut, and that does happen. Oh, I forgot. I saved some skill ups. She has not been fully skilled, so now that we have the Hall of Heroes, which I've managed to do up to B6, and I'm sure I'll be able to do B7, B8. I sometimes don't bother with B9 and B10 because I have to manual those, and it's a pain, and I sometimes just don't think it's worth it to get that one extra skill up. But she needs 3 skill ups, and so we fought through, and this will actually make her even more useful in Siege, because sometimes, now it's not very often that I have to worry about anyone fighting back at me with how I run this team. But if they manage to survive, or they get some nice RNG or some Vile procs, then having her skill 2 fully skilled up and cooldown -1, that could be helpful. And she'll be doing more damage now with her skill 1. So we now have her fully skilled. So the type of teams that I bring this into are teams that don't have a speed lead. So with my speed lead, I'm almost guaranteed to go first. And even if they have better runes than me. But if they don't have a speed lead, then my team is not fast enough. Emily needs to be faster. Emily needs to be 220, 230 speed, 240 speed to avoid getting cut. Because in some of our recent guild siege, Emily has been cut, and that kind of makes the team fall apart. So my faster to spare runes, I'm just not willing to sacrifice for her, because as long as I go against teams that don't have a speed lead, I'm pretty much going first. And again, unless they get resistance, there's not much they can do. So we go against, this is a fairly meta defense. It's not quite as meta as it used to be, but we still see a lot of this in G1. So Vareesa goes first. She strips. Now she missed the strip on Triana, which can be a problem. And she did not stun anyone, and Vareesa is on despair. So that's disappointing. So when I don't get anyone stunned, then Hyanes' job. Now I could try to use her as a strip again to try to get Triana, but right now it doesn't look like it. I don't think Shania is going to cut, but Hyanes' skill 2 will decrease attack speed and decrease their attack bar by 50%. So if I can do that, that gives me more time. So great, we got a stun on Shania. So she's not going to move right away. We did not stun Martina, so we're going to steal her attack bar. One of the nice things about this skill 3 is even though Martina's attack bar is not full, if she doesn't resist and I steal her attack bar, I get 100% back. So we're going to try skill 3 on Martina. So much for the Emily showcase. Just this just does not happen very often, and that's what happens when I'm gonna have to watch this again. I'll watch this to see what happened there. Obviously Triana still had her immunity, so we're gonna replay this again. So the way the team's set up is Vareesa goes first. She goes in and strips. We did not get Martina, which can be a problem. And so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to strip again. And we got it. And because she's just about to move, I'm going to use my skill 3 on her. Got it, and we got the stun. But Triana got her immunity up, which is not good. But at least we have both of them stunned. Yeah. Okay, we don't want her going. Let's get a defense break in there. Pretty good damage. Let's reduce everybody's attack bars so they don't get a turn. Try to push her back a little bit. Ooh, nice stun. That's why I like having Vareesa on Despair, because sometimes those Despair stuns come in really useful. So Martina has the bigger attack bar. We're gonna. So we just tripped Triana's passive. So we're gonna go here and killed off Shania, also Martina with the splash damage, and now we could just. When Emily has her skill 2 available, there's only one target left. It's pretty strong. It's pretty good damage. She needs higher crit rate and higher crit damage, and she should be able to one-shot quite a few things with her S2. So we're just going to finish this off. Martina, Shania, Triana is not much of a problem for this team. So I'm going to show you one of my own defenses, which again isn't necessarily meta, but you do see a lot of this in C3 G1 Siege. So same thing, just Hwadam instead of Triana. So same team. We just go in. They have an attack power lead. We have a speed lead, so we get to go first. And they're actually must have improved the runes on that team recently. But Vareesa went, and then Hwadam cut us, but didn't do any damage to us. Now, both of these are stunned, and that's when I want to use Hyanes' third skill again, is to increase the duration of the harmful effects. Hopefully we end up with, yes, 2 turn stuns. Shania already took a turn and used one of her, removed one of the 2 turn stuns. So, but she's just about to move, so if we use skill 3, boom, hit her again. We take her attack bar, we get another turn, and she still has a 2 turn stun. So Martina's out of the battle. She's not going to do anything. So now we're going to want to put defense breaks on everybody. And that would have killed Martina a couple of times, because now Hwadam's down to 30% health. So then Vareesa, we'll have to check her runes. I'll show you the runes of everybody after we're done with this example. But her skill 2 does extra damage once the enemy's attack bar is depleted. So I could go after anyone here, but Martina's is the lowest, so I'm going to do the most damage against her, even though she has that 2 turns. Well, tell you what, we're going to leave her alone since she has the 2 turns done. It's not critical in this battle, but you might be in a battle where it is critical for that 2-turn stun to stay. So we're going to go after Shania here. That's enough to kill her. We're just going to reduce their attack bars again. Looks like we failed on that one. But we can now just boom. And then Hwadam's not going to do anything. And that's it. So, really nice control team. Now, this isn't necessarily free to play, but if you have other monsters that do a lot of attack bar reduction, you can pair them with Emily for a pretty nice result. You just need... I just find that these 3 units work together really well. Most siege battles, I always get a win with this team. I'm just careful about who I take it into. So let's find another team where I would not want to take it in. Yeah, so this would probably not be a good... This would probably not... They have a speed lead. And then if Cheongpung gets a turn, he's going to remove all our attack bars, and then Molong's just going to kill us. So this is not who I would take it into normally. And actually, so this is my friend Camila's defense. She's probably faster than me. Oh, yeah. So there we go. But they did not get our attack bars. So let's see if we can... Let's see. We got Molong stunned, which is good. Let's see if we can get him a 2-turn stun. No, we did not. So that's not good. So... who to go against here? Let's try. There we go. We have another stun. Let's get some defense breaks on here. And pretty good damage as well. Chiwu's probably going to proc out of that stun. And so is Cheongpung. So let's do a little more fluff damage and reduce attack bars. Got rid of Cheongpung. There goes Molong. Well, I was not expecting that. I thought Cheongpung was going to decrease our attack bars, and then they would just romp all over us. Molong did get his big skill in, but Vareesa's pretty tanky. And so you can see I really like Vareesa. She's my favorite stripper. And so this used to be my light and dark only account. But I'm now starting to use other monsters. But Vareesa is just so good. So let's find the one. So I have one that's on Swift. So she's 269 on Swift. 246. And this is the one that's on Despair Will. So let's see how she's ruined. Speed... HP. Yeah, so this is just I'm relying on additional damage and additional crit damage, and that artifact I'm just keeping on her for someday. I hope I can raise her crit rate a lot, but right now I'm not willing to sacrifice speed for crit rate. And I've got her accuracy about as low as I'd want it. You can see this one is even though she doesn't need 100% accuracy, this is the one that I use more often in RTA. And so she's faster, and she needs to have at least 85% accuracy to do her strip and her debuffs. Because if she's able to do that, oftentimes the enemy team just doesn't have enough to come back. I have another one I've been playing around with on Despair Nemesis. Here's the Hyanes that I use. She's on Despair Will. Speed speed, HP, accuracy. And she's on that accuracy run because of the speed sub. I didn't really have anything faster for despair. So that's what, otherwise I would have her on speed, HP, as long as I can get high accuracy on her. And then she's decent resistance too. It's only 51%, but it helps. So that's Hyanes, and then Emily. We kind of looked at her runes a little bit before. I really want to replace this rune. It's not. I don't need a 27% defense substat on my speed rune for a team that rarely gets moved on. So defense is just a wasted stat for her. But this is. I am hurting for accuracy on this build. Still, I'm only at 57%. Accuracy is important for her to land that attack bar absorb, plus all of her defense breaks on S2. So, and her attack bar reduction on S1. So, accuracy is very important for her. You should try to have it right around 85%. It's the maximum accuracy you ever need on a unit. But I was sacrificing accuracy a little bit to try to get more speed, more attack, more crit rate, and crit damage. And she needs better runes. But even though she definitely needs better runes, because she does get cut once in a while, even with that, my win rate with this team is well over 90%. And that's including quite a bit of time in G1. So against other G1 Siege guilds. So she is a niche use. There's not, I don't use her a ton of other places. I do occasionally use her in Labyrinth as well when I come across a mission where her skill set is going to be helpful. And I'll almost always pair her with Vareesa. And if I can, I'll get Hyanes in as well. Because those three work together super good. A little bit in RTA, a little bit in Arena. So you have to think about, is it worth my time in investing resources into what is essentially primarily a Guild Siege offense unit? I have not even put time into consideration for a Guild Siege defense with her. And maybe I should, but I just don't have time for that right now. So if anyone can think of a really good Guild Siege defense using Emily, that's what YouTube comments are for. So just wanted to show you how I've built her, the team I use for her, and I'm really happy with her. I just finished watching Schizophrenic Gamer's Hall of Heroes video on her. He was basically like, build Abigail instead of Emily. And I can understand his reasoning for that. And he made me want to build Abigail. So I probably will love the team I have. It gets me a win almost every single Guild Siege. And I can't say that about my other 14 Guild Siege offenses. Know who you take it against. Avoid the speed leads so that you get to go first. And then you strip, control, and kill things off. And if you can get more attack, more crit rate, more crit damage on your Emily than I can right now, she does pretty good damage. And especially if you've already eliminated one unit and then she goes to use her skill 2 with only 1 or 2 units left on the field, and the first or second hit puts a defense break on, she basically one-shots whatever unit that takes a couple more hits. So she's a good unit. Definitely not trash. Now everybody can get her, and hopefully that you find this video helpful in ruining her. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment on YouTube. I try to respond to any questions I get in YouTube comments. So thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate you watching this, and we will catch you in the next video.